Are we paying these people to front up, or are we paying them to fly to Wellington to eat their lunch? Should you really lose your career for refusing to take part in a 90-minute lesson about Māori culture? This government doesn't actually have any idea how to get economic growth. Show us what you made of, Prime Minister.
Editor-in-Chief with Duncan Garner.
Yeah, so we're diving into key topics that men don't talk about today. We don't talk about it enough, and that's one of those things is mental health, lifestyle habits, sexual health, all that sort of stuff. And we'll do this throughout the week. We can't offer medical advice, and the views shared today are those of our guests. And if you've got personal health questions, please speak with your doctor or pharmacist. But joining us also today is Tai Matai. He's here to talk about cardiovascular disease and the importance of heart health. Okay, Tai, can you take us back to the moment of your heart attack? What were you feeling, and how did you know something was wrong? What was going on?
Yeah, it was quite strange. I'd actually just finished a round of golf with one of my great buddies that I'd through softball. But then I noticed throughout the game that my body temperature was kind of different. You know, I was kind of real hot. So leaving the golf course, I was driving home, and then all of a sudden my vision started getting quite blurry. I couldn't focus on anything. And I just thought, oh my God, what's going on here? At no time did I think I was having a heart attack. But I just thought, oh, okay, it must be just, short of breath or something. So I carried on home, which was about another couple of kilometres away. But when I got home in my driveway, I just started, I couldn't breathe properly. I couldn't take full breaths. And I was thinking, oh my God. And then I started sweating. And then that's when I sort of thought, oh shit, something is really, I'm not quite sure what's happening. Maybe something is wrong here. But yeah, at no time did I think it was a heart attack, because my views of a heart attack are, in the fetal position, So anyway, I was trying to sort of water myself down, cool myself down, because I'm overheating, and luckily my mum was at home, and I asked her, look, can you ring an ambulance? I know something's wrong, but I just don't know what it is. I couldn't breathe. It felt like someone was standing on my chest, and I couldn't quite push them off to take a full breath. So I thought, I went into my son's bedroom just to. I was going to lie down on his bed just to catch my breath, but I couldn't even make it up on the bed.
So you lay on the floor.
Yeah, and so then I thought, oh shit, maybe it is something life-threatening here, and mate, the only thing I could think about was just hearing my son's voice,
Yeah. And did you? So you're playing golf, so it was hot. Did you drink lots of water? And did you? What about your daily routine? Was there anything different in your daily routine before the event?
I'm kind of a physical guy by nature. I'm out. We do a lot of physical stuff. With yourself, table tennis, 3 or 4 times a week. But I'd noticed that it was peculiarly I could feel it was almost like the sun was like stinging. It was stabbing me. And with the sport I play, it's a summer sport, so I'm kind of used to the heat. So I kept asking my mate, is he hot? Does it feel any weird? Is it really, really hot today? And and he kept looking at me strangely, going, God, what are you going on about, you nutcracker? But but then when I look back at it, because going through my mind, I can tell what was happening, like with shortness of breath. I was having shortness of breath, and there was a couple of holes where I struggled even just to get to the green. So all of that,
Had you?
At no time did I think it was going to be a heart attack.
But did you think once you were in that sort of position on the floor of your son's bedroom, did you think, I'm going to die, or is this a heart attack, or what is this?
Not at all. I did think, oh, maybe, Jesus. I thought, oh, could this be it? And then from that thought process, I just wanted to hear my son's voice. But lying there, not one bit did I think, oh man, I'm going through a heart attack. 2, oh my God, this is it for me. None of those thoughts at all.
Had you discussed risk factors for heart attack? Like with your doctor, like blood pressure, cholesterol, family history, anything?
Yeah, look, I have a I have a 2-year annual, 2-year checkup with the doc, and when you're over 40, and and it's a pretty basic question. They only ask you about how's your heart. They only take the basic readings really. They don't really ask you. I didn't realise until I had this how what slight symptoms actually could lead to a heart attack. Like just the most basic of symptoms that I think to myself when I was told about this, I was thinking, man, God, I've had all of those in the past, and my mindset's just like, stuff that I'm powering on. You know what I mean? But
They're bulletproof.
it's but no. To answer your question, no, I wasn't aware at all of what sort of symptoms can lead to a heart attack.
Yeah. Well, what about so after the heart attack? Once you had the heart attack, were you given any advice by your doctors about lifestyle changes? What sort of things you needed to do and what change you need to make?
Yep. I mean, once I was finally discharged, because I was in the hospital for about a week. The hospital, it does have follow up in terms of the cardiology team. So I go there once a week for 4 weeks after being discharged, and they monitor. They kind of get you into a rhythm of monitoring your weight in the mornings, and they go through the explanations of, what to look out for, and ways that you could possibly maybe improve your heart condition. I mean, but no great detail. That came later on. They give a general overview of stuff and what I should be doing, which is taking my pills. I mean, I'm on pills now for the rest of my life, but I wish they had some. Now looking back on it, I wish they had some sort of facility there for your mental side of things, because it's quite a it's quite a thing to cope with, having a heart attack and everything that involves. I mean, you were one of the first people that knew. I mean, not many of my friends, I didn't tell them about, because I didn't think, not that I was afraid of it or anything like that, but it's just like, it's not something you kind of lead with, and it's not something that...
Yeah. They're two big words, heart attack, and I freaked out when you had a heart attack. I was like, shivers.
Yeah, but and it really hasn't hit home 100% the enormity of what the event was, because I still think to myself, I'm still like, surely, you know what I mean? Like, it's taken it's a big thing to get your head around, man. Yeah.
Has there been a turning point in your recovery where you've noticed things have started to improve? Like, okay, so you're obviously beating me in table tennis, and that's continued. But is there a point that you thought, because initially I know you were pretty down, but I reckon you're a lot more up now. Was there a turning point? Was there a turning point in something there?
Oh, not so much turning point. I think once an episode like this happens to you, you become aware of the certain, like the little aches and pains that you might go through. You become much more aware of that sort of stuff. And I mean, as you know, like for the first couple of weeks after discharge, we've been playing a game of table tennis and trying to play like we normally played. I only lasted I could barely last a set, and so that was getting hard to get used to. And but no real specific point where I just thought, okay, I'm back to normal. I mean, beating you every game, well, that was before the heart attack, so that wasn't really a reference point I could go back to. But it was just a matter of, okay, well, I'm hoping that it's incorrect. That you certainly, I'm hoping my heart condition improves. I'm doing the best I can in terms of making that a possibility in terms of my lifestyle. Because
has there been anything that's that in part of your recovery, has there been any bits that have surprised or challenged you during this recovery process? Like, because I reckon you've bounced back really well, which is really encouraging.
I guess what challenging is it's just the understanding around the whole and how it affects so many people. I mean, I try and log on to the Heart Foundation website as much as I can. I mean, I think that's a brilliant. But in terms of, it's one of those things of, unless it's in your face or it's happening to you, you're not involved in it. And I wish more people are involved in it and knew about this heart, the Heart Foundation and stuff, because honestly, it's been a rude awakening, if you say for me,
The emotional side of it, the fact that it's clipped your wings a bit, and you are not bulletproof, and maybe you can only expect to do so much. You can't do all these things that you once thought you could do. Has that affected you emotionally?
Oh, totally. I mean, that was one of the biggest things to get, to work my mind around, is knowing that. Yeah, no, it's just different if you lose an arm, right? If you lose your arm, okay, you can't do certain things. You know for a fact you can't do certain things. But with this, it's a matter of, okay, how far do I push it? And there's maybe a slight chance that it could happen, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and so it's really hard to gauge, what you can. I guess the bonus is your friends and your family's reactions to what you've gone through, and through their eyes you fully understand what this episode means because of how they treat you and what sort of feedback they give you. And it's like, because you yourself think, oh my God, it was a heart attack. I was like, God, it wasn't that bad, like it wasn't that bad sort of thing. If you know what I mean? Like that's why I don't know whether when it wasn't that bad in terms of I thought I'd probably hurt more.
No, but I thought it was bad when I turned up in A&E on that Friday night to see you. It gave me a shock of my life, and it did. And I know that emotionally and your mental health afterwards, it takes a real bang, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the other thing too is I now fully understand. Being over 50 now, kind of overnight what that means. The things that I thought I could do and physically and then, it does take, the age thing is like I paid no real relevance to it in terms of my physical capabilities and mate, it knocks you, mate. I mean, it's, from a guy who prides himself in being able to get out in physical stuff and challenge the boundaries of what I can do physically. It's, it's a blow to the ego. And
I know because you've represented your country,
and that gets restored, and that ego gets restored every time I play you and table tennis. So thank God for that. Thank you, Duncan.
I see that.
But I wish more people are in my age bracket, more men and leading up to my age bracket are aware of this thing, bro. Because it's I hear the most freakiest stories now from people,
I know they're out there. If someone wants to support, someone, say you want loved ones or friends to support you, how's the best way to support people that have, had heart attacks and things like that? From your experience and from what you've seen, what do you want from people?
I don't think it's. I guess it's just. For you, well, you know me, mate. I don't want for anything like that. It's more so just, don't treat me like any differently. Like I'm, you know what I mean? Like don't treat me like as if it's only a heart attack. Is that what you mean? I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. Just from your experience, what is it that what are some helpful ways that people can show up and help? I suppose with their understanding.
Oh, okay. To be honest, mate, it's just turning up and being there, mate. Just turning up and just asking, hey, how you going? How you coping?
Yeah.
Because that's a biggie. Having someone there to talk to you. And it's weird because it's funny, mate. Almost everybody I knew has somehow been touched by either something to do with a heart attack. And it's great seeing different perspectives from people.
And finally, the lifestyle changes. You made lifestyle changes, obviously.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I cook more now. I'm trying to move at the moment. Too much processed foods out there, and the thing that really is a stickler, mate, is the stuff that's really good for you. Like I go to buy fruit, and I want to buy fruit, and I want to buy a wide variety of fruit. But mate, it's so expensive, mate. It's like, oh my God, it's just like I can't buy that watermelon or pineapple because it's just, and it's a sad thing when you've got to weigh up the bloody cost of a fruit versus your bloody welfare. You know what I mean?
Well, you've bounced back well, eh? You've bounced back well, I reckon, because I think you're in a much stronger position now than you were, even in that month after the heart attack.
Yeah, and thank you for that too, mate. I don't know whether I've said this to you personally, mate, but thank you for your support through that, mate. It meant a lot, mate. So that was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, well, it's the last time.
Jokes. Yeah. What's that, mate?
It's the last time, mate, because you're not going to have another one.
Okay, I'll let you win the next game, mate.
Okay. Hey, cheers. Hey, Tai. Nice to chat, mate. All the best. We'll be in touch. Okay.
Yeah, all the best, mate.
Editor-in-Chief with Duncan Garner.